You're listening to Frankie C Sports on Northeast Streaming Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Frankie C Sports Special Edition. Big Super Bowl show for you guys today. Since Super Bowl Super Bowl 55 is right around the corner, I have a couple of guests joining with me today. I got two right now that are waiting to join up in. We're gonna bring them in just a little bit. For first thing we're gonna talk about really quickly is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl 55. The Kansas City Chiefs are favored by 3 points. If you guys tuned in on Thursday on Unscripted, I was there as a special guest, and I gave my my preview on who I think is going to win and stuff like that. My prediction is still going to be with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I think they're going to win 27-24. But special show today. I'm just going to have a couple special guests in here. They're going to represent teams that they love and they like. So we're gonna get their expressions on when they first witnessed their team win the Super Bowl and things like that. So let's go ahead and bring on our guest. First guest is gonna be Antonio. We're gonna bring on him. What's going on, Antonio?
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me. Honored. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you for joining me today. As everybody can see, Antonio is the diehard Eagles fan, so he's representing the Eagles today. And then I got another guest we're about to join up in. I met him a couple of days ago. He's a good guy. Special guest Robert in the house. What's going on, Rob?
Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing today? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I see Rob, everybody is representing the Dallas Cowboys. For all you Cowboys fans out there, he's going to be representing the Cowboys for you guys.
Yep. My team, they won a Super Bowl when I was alive.
Yeah, there you go. Yup, they won a Super Bowl when he was alive, so he got to witness the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, even though I'm a Dolphins fan, man. So, Frankie, you're lucky, man. You've been
let's go ahead and,
you got to witness 6 for your team, so man, you're a lucky guy, bro.
Oh,
I haven't been so lucky.
Lucky guy. Definitely.
I haven't been lucky with the Miami Dolphins as of yet, man. But hopefully, it's coming soon, man. In the next few years, I like what we're building down here with Brian Flores, your old defensive coordinator. So I definitely think it's coming soon. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I see it coming soon. I see it also, man. You guys are like defensively and offensively too. You guys are there. I don't know what's missing. I should have, honestly, in my opinion, the Dolphins should have made the playoffs this year, but because you guys faced the Bills last and the Colts had to face Jacksonville, it wasn't kind of like, a fair shot there. We all knew that the Bills were going to beat the Dolphins, and we all knew the Colts were going to beat the Jaguars. So it was kind of like, the Miami's not going to make it because of this easy game that they got to take care of. But in my opinion, if the Colts wouldn't face Jacksonville, they would have lost to another team because they didn't look like the Colts from earlier in the year. And honestly, Miami would have went into the playoffs, and they could have honestly made it far in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, man. It was just bad timing.
But let's go ahead and we're gonna start off with you, Anthony. So tell me, man, you're a diehard Eagles fan. So give me your expression and your experience on when you guys first won your Super Bowl. I know it was against my team and stuff like that, but it was a recent win, and right. I know you're gonna you're gonna punch me in the face with some of the.
Definitely redemption. 2005, man. All right, that was heartbreaking for me, man. That was heartbreaking. So definitely against you guys. Hey, I'm not gonna front. It was very good experience. And to me, being in a house with a whole bunch of Patriots fans, yeah, it was good to rub it in their face for a little bit. It was good to do that.
It was a good Super Bowl. I admit it was a really good one. The Patriots took the lead at the very end, but the Eagles were the better team that year, offensively and defensively. They had Carson Wentz take them into the playoffs, but they had Nick Foles finish it for them and give them the Lombardi Trophy. So that was a smart move on them, because I feel that every team was just focused and ready for Carson Wentz and not Nick Foles. So, it was a good year. It was a good year for the Philadelphia fans, and I'm a fan of football. Yeah, I've witnessed 6 rings and stuff like that for my team, and I always want to see my team win a Super Bowl. It's amazing, obviously, but I'm also a football fan, and I like when a team goes on to the Super Bowl for the first time and win it for the first time, because it's an awesome experience for you fans, for fans like you that haven't won a Super Bowl. So I like to see that, I like to see other fans around the world that haven't won a Super Bowl or witnessed a Super Bowl finally witness one and finally win one. And I like to get their expression. So you say it's redemption, but tell me a little bit more, man. How did you feel, winning your first Super Bowl in franchise history?
Well, for the city of Philadelphia is definitely great, because that town is a sports diehard town. They're they ride for everybody, so it was great for them to get in. Me as a fan, it was definitely great to experience my first one, especially around that year. It was I had a little rough time in my life, so just to sit down and block everything out, watch my guys win the Super Bowl was great. It was great. It was the best feeling in the world, especially if you never won it. It's a lot of guys that never won it, so just to get one is a big accomplishment in the league.
Right. So real quick, do you think your Eagles did have a little hiccup season this year? It didn't look really good for you guys. You guys did get rid of Doug Peterson and got a new head coach over there. I forgot his name. But do you feel that the Philadelphia Eagles will be in the playoff or even be in the Super Bowl these upcoming seasons in the next 2, maybe 3 years?
Honestly, what will be a major problem for us to even make it there is our general manager has to go. He has to go. If we're going to think of breathing playoffs or anything like that, he has to go. There's too many good talent that we passed up on, or we're drafting positions that we don't need. So that is going to be the first thing if we're ever going to even see playoffs or any championship contention, anything like that. He is the first problem that has to be taken care of. I believe Doug Peterson was bait for our GM. He was bait because he's been doing this for years and he still has his job. So I think Peterson was just the bait. He was just the scapegoat, to be honest.
And in my experience and viewing the Eagles, from winning the Super Bowl to now, I feel that the reason you guys went downhill from then is because you guys lost your offensive coordinator, who was Frank Wright. He went over to the Colts and stuff like that.
And he went over to the Colts.
He went over. He turned the Colts season around. A big plus over there on his part. And people are blaming it on Carson Wentz and stuff like that. And people, if you're a Philadelphia fan, I'm not even an Eagles fan, and I'm going to say it.
Right.
When you have a connection with an offensive coordinator and you get a new one, it's not going to work out as it was before, So for Carson Wentz to lose the offensive coordinator that he started with when he got drafted into the NFL,
Yes.
and going on to a new one and actually not even paying attention to that coordinator, he was technically paying attention to Doug Peterson. It changed everything around, and that's what I feel like. If they had never lost their offensive coordinator, the Eagles' seasons would have actually kept going, and I could have seen you guys actually make it to the playoffs this year as well if you guys, would have kept them.
Definitely right. And it also doesn't help when he's had a different offensive coordinator every year since he's been in the league.
Exactly.
We've had a different offensive coordinator every year since he's been in the league. So Carson is definitely not to blame. You can't, have a scheme of this and then somebody else comes and changes this scheme, and then you come and you're changing this scheme. That's what I mean? That's like going into a job. If everything changes every day, how are you going to be comfortable to do your job?
Right.
The man's not comfortable. So find some stability for that man. And he's still young. These guys are giving up. Like, this guy is, 32, 33 years old. Guy's only 27 years old. Give him some time. The
real big question that I want to ask you, and I'm pretty sure the entire world wants to know for you Philadelphia Eagles fans, are: do you see Carson Wentz returning next year to quarterback the Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, it's rough in the air, but I would say, yeah, who's gonna be in competition with him? Hurts? That's not even no competition if you ask me. It's not. I just think that we're just going off the hype. But you don't take a quarterback off and then play with his mind and switch back and forth. Let the man go in there, let him get comfortable. If he loses, so what? Let him play out the season. That's the problem with people, right? That we're in the NFL where everybody wants you to do something right then and there. Things take time. You didn't give the man time. He only had 1 year where he had time. He didn't have time.
Right. Now I'm gonna move on to you, Rob. You're representing the Dallas Cowboys for all those Cowboy fans that are watching. And you said that it was back in the '90s. We all know that the Cowboys were a dominant team back in the '90s, and with Michael Irvin and everything like that. Give me your expression from you were probably a young I don't know your age or anything like that, but you were probably a young kid when you 36. You were young. You were young at the time. You were a teenager probably and stuff like that when you got to witness they win their first Super Bowl. So tell me how your expression was when you got to witness the first Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, I was so happy, man. I was just happy to see them, get over the hump. I remember when they first got Jimmy Johnson the first year, they were like 1-15. They were just a horrible team, and they traded away Herschel Walker, and then when they got Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman. I remember them getting to the NFC Championship game that year and taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And the San Francisco 49ers were always the team, to beat. Like in the 80s, nobody can beat them. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, they won like 4 Super Bowls. Joe Montana was 4-0 in the Super Bowl, undefeated. He retired, or he got traded to Kansas City. Then they got Steve Young. And just watching the Cowboys just be able to go to San Francisco, going to Candlestick Park, to win that game and get over the hump and then finally get to the Super Bowl. And then they're playing, believe it or not, the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo, where I live now, they're playing the Buffalo Bills in that Super Bowl in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. And it just totally destroyed the Buffalo Bills. It was like 52 to like 13 or 52 to 10, something like that was the final score. And it just totally destroyed them. And the only hiccup in that game when I look back at that game is the Leon Lett fumble when he was running towards that end zone to get that touchdown, and Don Beebe knocked it out, and that was the only thing because Leon Lett just got too excited because he was about to score a touchdown, and I think if the Cowboys would have got a touchdown, they would have had the most points of any team ever in a Super Bowl. They would have scored 59 points, but instead they scored 52. But I look at that play right there as the only hiccup of that game because the Cowboys pretty much played a perfect game. I don't remember exactly who was the MVP of that Super Bowl, but I know Troy Aikman, had a hell of a game. Michael Irvin did. Also, Emmitt Smith. It was just a blessing to watch the Cowboys finally get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl. And I have a lot of respect for Jimmy Johnson, because he coached at the University of Miami, and also Michael Irvin went to the University of Miami. So I love all those Florida guys. Also Emmitt Smith, University of Florida, whose jersey I'm wearing now. Emmitt Smith, 22, Cowboys legend. All-time leading rusher, and obviously Troy Aikman, what he did was just phenomenal to watch. And then they went on to win 2 more Super Bowls after that, beating the Bills again in Atlanta. And then once Jimmy Johnson left, they went on to beat the Steelers in '96. So the Cowboys were definitely the team in the '90s. So everybody was rocking with them back then, and I just fell in love with them. When I was a kid growing up. I mean, I always rooted for the Dolphins because I love Marino. And the Dolphins would always get to the the AFC Championship game and lose to the Bills. And Marino did get to the Super Bowl in his rookie year, but he never got back after that. But the Cowboys were always my team in the NFC, and the Dolphins were always my team in the AFC growing up as a young kid in South Florida.
That's awesome. Yeah, the Cowboys were a dominant team back in the '90s. They were real dominant. Nobody could stop them. It was really hard. Michael Irvin was a dominant wide receiver. Troy Aikman was a beast quarterback. Emmitt Smith, a dominant running back. Nobody could stop Emmitt Smith, like no one. And that's what I'm going to ask you next is from then till now, the Cowboys have, they've made it to the playoffs with Tony Romo and stuff like that. They had the team, they had the tools to do it, but they couldn't pass the the NFC divisional round for some reason. I don't know, but do you see the Cowboys? You didn't have a good season this year, and you didn't have a good season last year as well. With Dak Prescott being out and stuff like that. Do you see the Cowboys, turning it around next year or the year after, and making it, at least farther than the NFC divisional round?
I definitely see them turning around. I mean, first things first, they gotta fix that defense. Dak Prescott has to stay healthy for a full year. They might have to fix the offensive lineup some. If they can do those things, obviously Zeke Elliott has to come back and show he's the running back that he was when he first came into the NFL. If they can do those things, they definitely could get back to the playoffs and get to the NFC Championship and maybe the Super Bowl. But they're gonna have to definitely fix that defense. They need Zeke to be able to run the ball like he did when he first came into the league, to take the pressure off of Dak. And hopefully those wide receiver weapons they have continue to perform. They have Mari Cooper, who's a stud wide receiver. They got CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma, from Oklahoma, and they have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. They also have a couple good tight ends, Dalton Schultz, Blake Jarwin, Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, the wide receiver from Colorado State. So they have the weapons. It's just they just have to put it all together. And I think the biggest thing with the Cowboys is their defense has just been shit the last couple of years. I mean, you look at them last year. I mean, the defense has just been atrocious. Like going back to the 90s when they won the Super Bowl, they always had a good defense. They were known for having a good defense. That Dallas D was serious. So they definitely need to fix that defense. I think that's the main thing for the Cowboys. They can't get down in these games and have to play catch up the whole time. It's just too much pressure. I was watching a game earlier this year when they played the Cleveland Browns, and they got down big and they came back and made it a game. But it's like you just can't be doing that every game. You can't be playing from behind. They did the same thing against the Falcons and were able to come back and win that game. But you just can't keep doing that every game. It's too much pressure on Dak and that offense. You need a defense that could stop teams and shut them down.
Now, same question goes with you because you guys are kind of in the same quarterback situation as the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you feel that Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones are gonna, make up and have Jerry Jones finally realize that he's gonna give Dak Prescott that money and that contract that he needs?
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, because Dak's coming off a bad injury. We have to see how he looks going into training camp in the next season. I heard the Cowboys were looking at possibly getting Matthew Stafford, who's from the Texas area there in Dallas. He played his high school ball there. It wouldn't be bad to get Matthew Stafford, because he's a quarterback that has a strong arm and can stay healthy. And he's from the Texas area. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't think they should overpay Dak. I do have faith in him that he could come back and perform. But I mean, it remains to be seen. He's coming off a bad injury. And I don't know if the Cowboys want to pay him all that money. It's going to be interesting. They need to go out and build the defense up and definitely, pay other guys. So, I mean, trading for Matthew Stafford will not be, the worst thing in the world if they decide to do that. But if they do pay Dak, I just hope they can, afford to rebuild that defense. Because that's really the biggest thing with them is, rebuilding that defense, man. You have to have a defense to be able to win in the NFL. I'm not saying you got to have a shutdown defense like the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or 2002 Buccaneers or something like that, but you just have to have a defense that can play well and make plays situationally, when the game is on the line.
Yeah, that is true. You also have to build that chemistry with the quarterback and the owner, and it doesn't look like the quarterback and the owner are building that chemistry because Jerry Jones, want to throw the franchise tag on Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott feels that he should be paid maybe the same amount as that Deshaun Watson or even a little bit more. But first thing like you said, first thing first, you got to build that defense up because you guys didn't look that good last year, getting blown out by teams and then having to come back and having to struggle and stuff like that. And you're right, you need to build that defense up first. But that quarterback, man, Dak Prescott is. If I was Jerry Jones, I would give Dak Prescott the contract just because. If Dak Prescott would have never got injured against the New York Giants, because we all know that the New York Giants, that was a dirty hit on the New York Giants' part. If you all watched that game, they all
that
hit.
Was a very dirty hit.
It was a dirty hit on Dak Prescott. So if Dak Prescott would have never got hurt, I could see the Cowboys. They would have won that division because you guys were already in first place. They would have won that division. And Dak Prescott mindset was Well, he was on that. He said, I'm gonna show up this year, and I'm gonna shut Jerry Jones up, and I'm gonna show him why he did what he did was wrong, and should have gave me that money.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, Dak Prescott, when he's healthy and right, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, I drafted him twice on my fantasy football team. I had him on my team last year. It was a tragedy that he got hurt last year, but fortunately enough, I was able to have Russell Wilson as my other quarterback, and he was performing at a high level last year until like towards the end of the year when he started to not do so well. But yeah, I root for Dak all the time, and I got all the respect in the world for him. I hope he comes back healthy and strong and can lead the Dallas Cowboys back to the playoffs and maybe possibly the NFC Championship game next year or maybe the Super Bowl. But the NFC is stacked. With the Buccaneers, Brady will be back next year regardless of what happens in this upcoming Super Bowl. You got Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers coming back. You got Seattle with Russell Wilson. I think Arizona will be better. Definitely the Eagles will be better. The Giants will be better. Carolina will be better. We'll see what happens with Atlanta. But, I mean, the NFC is going to continue to get better. I mean, it's a stacked conference. It's really anybody's guess who's the favorite coming out of the NFC next year. It may not be the Buccaneers. It could be possibly anybody.
Yeah, next year. I can't wait for next year. Hopefully we have a better year next year because of this COVID pandemic. It kind of ruined everybody's NFL season, especially the players that are playing in the NFL because they didn't get to, practice and have actual practices or even have a preseason to get, warmed up and everything like that. And if you guys don't know, we don't even have a Pro Bowl this weekend, which kind of sucks. Like I like to watch the Pro Bowl, and that sucks. Like, we can't watch the Pro Bowl this year. But yet these players are still getting nominated into the Pro Bowl, and they're still getting jerseys for what reason? If we're not even going to watch them.
Right, but, if they're not even going to play.
But that's the NFL and stuff like that. But we're going to get to our next topic. It was great to get your guys' reactions and stuff like that when you guys win this first Super Bowl. Mine's becoming the recent one in Super Bowl 53. Or 54, I'm sorry, or 53, yes. And then the Eagles winning in Super Bowl 52, and then the Cowboys all the way in the 90s back in like Super Bowl 20-something probably. I don't know. But we're going to get to our next subject, and that's going to be we're going to pick who we think is going to win Super Bowl 55. For those of you watching, like I said earlier, if you tuned into Unscripted, myself and Robert was on Unscripted on this Thursday night episode, and we gave our predictions and everything like that on who we thought was going to win Super Bowl 55. We both think that Tom Brady's going to take it just because he's the GOAT. I remember my prediction score was 27-24 Buccaneers. I forgot Robert's prediction, but I'm going to let Robert go ahead and give him I'm going to give him the stand now and give his reason on why he think the Buccaneers are going to win and give the final score. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this Super Bowl 55, 41-34. I think it's going to be a shootout. Very, very high scoring game. I just think the Bucs defense is just a little bit, better than the Chiefs. They're gonna make more plays, find a way to, shut down Tyreek Hill and minimize him. Also, Travis Kelce. The Kansas City Chiefs do have a great pass rush. They're gonna definitely try to get after Tom Brady. I believe they blitz more than any other team in the NFL. But that Tampa Bay Bucs offensive line is strong. I think they're gonna find a way to protect Brady, keep him in the pocket. And, I think the Bucs are going to be able to run the ball effectively between Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. I like their running backs, big physical backs. Leonard Fournette, I think, has a lot to prove. He got cut by Jacksonville this year, signed with the Bucs. He's a very capable starting running back. I always liked him coming out of college, out of LSU. He did get to the AFC Championship game when he was at Jacksonville. So I think he definitely has a lot to prove and would like to win the Super Bowl. And Tampa, it's gonna be a close game, high scoring game, shootout. Really could go either way. Kansas City is favored by 3, but the Bucs playing at home, they have like all the intangibles. Brady, being in his 10th Super Bowl, they've been riding high. The game's in Tampa. I know Kansas City is the home team. They're wearing the red jerseys. Tampa Bay will be wearing the white. But I think Tampa Bay is going to look at the tape and correct all the mistakes they made the first time they played this year. Back in November, I think it might have been in week 7 where they lost 27-24. They're going to go back and look at that tape and make all the corrections to win this game. So I got the Bucs winning this game, 41-34, Super Bowl 55 champions. Brady will get his 7th Super Bowl and probably cement himself as the greatest team sport athlete of all time. He's already the the GOAT in football, greatest quarterback of all time. So, yeah, I got the Bucks 41-34 in the Super Bowl.
Awesome. Question goes over to you, Antonio, as well. Who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 55? And go ahead and give your reason and final score projections.
It's actually not that far from your other guest over here. I think Tampa Bay wins 35-40. 35-40. Tom Brady's not going to lose again against Kansas City. He will go back, like your guest said, to the tape. He's going to fix all their mistakes. Tampa Bay has a defense. You don't give Brady a defense. You know what Brady does. You're Pats fan. You know what he does when he has a defense. Defense, like he said, they're going to find a way to shut down Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and make them use their low-end receivers to be the players of the game. So Kansas City is not going to pull off this win. It will be Brady and the Bucks. 35-40, Tampa Bay winning. Home field advantage. The first team to host a Super Bowl. All that adrenaline's going to carry on. Home field advantage. They win.
All right. So that basically brings up my next question. Will Brady win his 7th ring? And we got a unanimous vote here with us three, all saying that Tom Brady will indeed win his 7th Super Bowl ring. And that's going to be amazing to watch. We're going to watch history in the making on both sides of the field, no matter who wins. We get to watch a young quarterback win 2 Super Bowls before he even turns 27. And I don't think we ever watched that ever. So, and then we got, go ahead, Antonio, go ahead.
I was just about to say that, like, it's a great quarterback matchup. Like, this is a great Super Bowl, great quarterback matchup. There's a team that's hosting the Super Bowl that's never been done. This is Brady's 10th, possible to get 7. As a football fan, this Super Bowl is great, one of the best. I can't wait. Excited for this as a fan. Excited.
Yeah, like and it's amazing. Like I said, it's history on both sides of the fields. Like you got Patrick Mahomes, not even 27, he can win 2 Super Bowl rings, and even have 2 Super Bowl MVPs under his belt. And then you got Tom Brady, being 43 years old, still doing the damn thing, and can win his 7th Super Bowl ring and 10 appearances in the Super Bowl. And that will cement himself to me as the greatest athlete around and all sports, NBA and MLB, all of that, because you don't have a player in any of those sports to have 7 rings, I believe. In my opinion, I don't think anybody will have 7 rings. And everybody are saying, if Patrick Mahomes wins, he can call himself the GOAT in the future, and stuff like that. And I don't, if Patrick Mahomes wins against Tom Brady, no matter what, I don't think you could call yourself the GOAT, because I don't think either. I'm pretty sure I can say this for all of us. I don't think we're ever going to see another quarterback do what Tom Brady has done in the NFL. So, and I don't put Patrick Mahomes down. Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. He runs the ball great. He has a perfect arm. He could throw the ball, curve, before he even gets hit. So, he's an amazing quarterback, and I'm not going to put him down. But I don't think he's going to be the GOAT in the future if he beats Tom Brady, because Tom Brady has 6 rings. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. He's won.
Is this fair to say? Let the man play 15 plus years, and then let's see what he does.
Exactly
what people say.
Exactly.
Let the man play 15 years, and then see what happens, and then reevaluate that conversation. That's my opinion on Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, anybody agree? Play 15 years. Yeah. Play 15 years and get into at least 4 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Then have this conversation.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, everybody's saying it's still kind of early. Patrick Mahomes is still young. He's still got a lot of time left to do what he's got to do. But that's a lot of numbers and a lot of records that he has to try and break before he can even cement himself as the GOAT from Tom Brady. Because we all know Tom Brady has the numbers on every category. He's got the passing yards, he's got the touchdowns, he's got it all. And in this Super Bowl, he can cement himself as the only person to have 7 rings. He already got 6, but he can be the only person to have 7 rings in any sport. And in my experience, with Tom Brady as a Patriot fan, he's the GOAT. Nobody's gonna solidify, pass him or solidify himself as a GOAT.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only guy I think of in any sport that has 7 rings, that if Brady wins his 7th, he'll be tied with him. And he's a great player. Don't get it wrong. He was a great role player in his day in the NBA. The guy I have the same nickname as, Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry.
Big shot Robert Horry. Yep.
Robert Horry played with the Houston Rockets, played with the San Antonio Spurs, played with the Los Angeles Lakers. Won 7 rings.
He went everywhere. How you go to every team and win a championship? Yeah. That boy was lucky, man. Like, you had the free agent gods. You going over here. Oh, yeah, you're going to win a ring with them, too. That's a fact, man. A lot of people don't know that.
Big Shot Bob was a great role player. Hit a lot of big shots.
He was a beast. Yes.
I mean, obviously, he wasn't the star of the team like Brady has been the star on all the teams. Brady's been on with Patriots and now the Bucks. But I mean, don't forget about Big Shot Bob. You know, Big Shot Bob was a hell of a player in his day with the Lakers and Spurs.
You're right, but that's why they call him Big Shot Bob, all right? Because when that last shot was being taken, who took that ball? It was Robert Horry. My man had a jumper, man. Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's why I got the name Big Shot Rob too, because I feel like I'm a clutch player when it comes to doing broadcasting and media. My friend gave me that nickname Big Shot Rob, and I just stuck with it. But yeah, going back to Mahomes and Brady, yeah, Mahomes is going to be around for a long time. The kid just has a lot of potential, and some of the throws he makes is like unbelievable. Going back to that one throw he made in the AFC Championship game, against the Bills when he flipped a little underhand to Kelsey. I mean, how many guys can do that, man? Like, you can't. This kid, like the throws he makes with the sidearm and stuff, man. It's just unbelievable to watch, and like he's so smart, like the way he gets out of bounds and knows when to throw.
Playing quarterback.
Yeah,
playing quarterback.
He knows when to slide. Like, I mean, the kid has all the intangibles, man. Like, even if he loses the Super Bowl, man, I don't even think it's going to affect his legacy one bit, man. Because I think he'll come back and win, at least a couple more. But by the time he retires, do I know if he's going to win as many as Brady? Maybe not. But he'll at least get a couple. I think he'll finish with at least 3, maybe 4 Super Bowls.
Now, do you guys think do you guys think if Patrick Mahomes was to win this Super Bowl, will he be taking the torch, as we're saying, from Tom Brady? Everybody is saying it. If he's winning it, that means Tom Brady's passing the torch to Patrick Mahomes. Do you think that is true? I don't think that's true. Tom Brady's going to be around for about another 2 years. I know he definitely is going to play next year because we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year in Foxborough, and I'm pretty sure Tom Brady wants to come and play in that game and come back home and face his former team and his former coach, so that way he can actually say that it was me that Belichick needed and I didn't need him. So I see that Tom Brady's going to play like another 2, maybe even 3 years. I could see him playing until he's 45, maybe even 46 if he keeps playing at the level that he's playing. So I don't see that, Mahomes will be taking the torch because, like we're all saying, Mahomes need a couple more years to even try and take the torch from Tom. Do you guys feel that that's the same or differently on Mahomes taking the torch from Tom Brady?
I don't think so. I mean, Mahomes has only been in the league a few years. I mean, Tom Brady's been doing it for 20 years. I mean, even if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, I mean, he still has a long way to go. He still has a very long career ahead of him. We have to see what he does the rest of his career. It's too early to say if he's better than Brady. I mean, he has to do it over a long period of time. Just because he beats Tom Brady in one Super Bowl doesn't make you the GOAT, in my opinion. He has to do it over.
Play 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. It got to be at least
15 years, and we can have this conversation. Yeah, I definitely agree.
It's way too early. Way too early.
Just a quick stats number for the season. Patrick Mahomes was 390 out of 588 on passing attempts. He went for a total 4,740 yards with 38 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, compared to Tom Brady, who threw for 610 passing attempts and completed 401 of those, for a total of 4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. So with the interception, what was that?
Their touchdown to interception ratio is like right there.
I mean, I haven't seen Tom Brady throw 40 touchdowns in about a couple of years, and I think the reason why is because Tom Brady
throw that much since y'all had Randy Moss.
Yeah,
I don't know about all that. Hold on.
He threw 50 passes that season. He threw 50 touchdowns that year.
Hold on, though, bro. Hold on. My man Tom Brady a couple years ago had over 40 touchdowns as well when he was competing with Peyton Manning. So hold on there, okay?
I could be wrong, but I haven't seen him throw, you know what I mean? Maybe average 35, but I really have not, you know what I mean? I could be wrong.
I'm not saying I'm right. Interceptions, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in the NFC Championship game. He cannot throw interceptions in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, because if you do, you're going to be costing the game. We all know that the Chiefs are going to go ahead and drive it down the field and score because they are not the Green Bay Packers. But if we do see the defense that the Buccaneers have been showing the last couple of weeks in the playoffs, we will see a different side of things. But how do you guys see Tom Brady? How many interceptions do you see Tom Brady or even Patrick Mahomes throwing in the Super Bowl?
I said probably. I said Brady maybe throws maybe 1 or 2, and I see Mahomes probably throwing about the same, maybe 1 or 2. They can't throw.
I'd say at least each of them gets 1 interception.
Yeah, I think the defenses are going to make some plays in the Super Bowl. So I would say at least
both defenses are amazing.
At least 1.
Both defense are amazing. We're going to see a great thing. Clyde Edward-Helaire is going to play in the Super Bowl. He was out on ankle injury. He did have 181 carries with 803 yards and 4 touchdowns. If he would have never got injured, I could see him going over 1,000 yards this year. But Ronald Jones II, he did 192 carries with 978 yards and 7 touchdowns. Which running back do you guys see playing better in the Super Bowl? In my opinion, I don't think any of these running backs are going to do good, because if I was the Chiefs, I will focus on Clyde Edward-Helaire's ankle, give him a little bit of reps, but also keep his ankle healthy for next year, because you want to keep him next year. He's your future running back. He's a rookie this year, so he's your future running back. Give him his little reps here and there. But if it was my choice, I will hand the ball off to Le'Veon Bell a lot. And if I was the Buccaneers, I will hand the ball off to Leonard Fournette a lot because of the powerhouse that he is. So if it was me, I would not choose any of them. That's just my talk. But go ahead, you guys go ahead and tell me who you guys think is going to have more rushing yards and show up that day on the run game.
Yeah, Frankie, I agree with you there, man. I'm not a big fan. I love Edward-Helaire, but I don't think the Chiefs are going to run him into the ground like that. He's been dealing, with a lot of injuries, and same thing with Ronald Jones. He's had some injuries too. So I definitely want to see Le'Veon Bell shine. This guy's worked his whole career, starting as a Pittsburgh Steeler. At one time, he was the best running back in the NFL. Then he went to the Jets and definitely fell off some. It didn't work out in New York. I really thought he should have stayed in Pittsburgh. That's where he belonged. So I would definitely like to see the Chiefs let him loose in the Super Bowl and him have a big game. Same goes for Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette was a great running back coming into this league, drafted by Jacksonville. It didn't work out in Jacksonville. They let him go. He signed with Tampa Bay. Over the last few weeks, he's been running up like he's a man possessed for the Buccaneers. So I think he can definitely go off in the Super Bowl for the Bucs. So I look for both of those guys to definitely go off for those teams in the Super Bowl. Leonard Fournette and Le'Veon Bell, big time.
Go ahead, Antonio. Tell me who you think is going to dominate the ground game in the Super Bowl.
To have a good game, and solidify his dominance as a running back for him being cut off from Jacksonville. That's who I'm looking for to have a big game. Will be Fournette, and I also agree with you guys. Carlos Edward-Helaire, like you said, let him go. Ankle injuries are bad. He's a rookie. I don't see them running him down. You guys went and got Le'Veon Bell for a reason. Let the man go eat. Let him go eat. Just give him that shot to go eat.
Yeah, I think it.
Well, I got the injury report also. Le'Veon Bell is questionable, and that was back in July 29th, which was yesterday. So he is questionable, but we also got another week ahead of us before the Super Bowl comes up. We all know he's going to be healthy. I don't care what anything says on this injury report right in front of me. I don't care who's on this list. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to miss the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure that we can all say that. If we were NFL players right now and we were hurt, we will say the hell with this injury report. We're going to play because it's the Super Bowl.
My arm could be broken. I'm in the game.
Exactly. Le'Veon Bell is questionable, but the same with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's also on the injury list. He's questionable as well from yesterday, but he was also questionable on a game day with the Packers. He just decided not to go so that way he could save himself for the Super Bowl.
He's definitely playing in the Super Bowl.
All these guys are going to play, definitely. I mean,
all these guys are playing, man.
Look at Le'Veon Bell. The reason he went to Kansas City was for this moment to get to the Super Bowl.
Exactly, and he's gonna rub it in Pittsburgh's face.
Yep.
That's a funny thing. And that's a funny thing because Le'Veon Bell started the year with the winless Jets, and the Jets go ahead and trade him to the then undefeated Chiefs. So he went from a winless team to an undefeated team, and the Chiefs went on to lose 2 games, and now he's in the Super Bowl. If I was the Jets, I would be really upset right now because I just had one of the greatest running backs in my team, and now because we couldn't do what we did. And we sent him away to one of the best teams. Or no, they didn't even trade him. I'm sorry, they let him go. They cut him. No, and the Chiefs signed him.
They cut him, and he got picked up on waivers by Kansas City.
Yep, he got cut. He got cut, and he got signed. So I would even be biting myself. I would be biting my tongue like, dang man, I can't even believe I just did that. Because now look at the man. He's in the Super Bowl. He's about to win a ring. Or who we don't even know. But the real crazy thing is, for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there, you guys might be hurt because you guys a couple years ago let Antonio Brown walk, and then you got you let Le'Veon Bell walk, and now you got both your 2 out of 3 Bs up in the Super Bowl while you guys got Big Ben over there sitting on the couch next to us watching them try and win a ring. So for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and ask who you guys think are going to show up more in the Super Bowl out of the former Steelers. Is it going to be Antonio Brown on the receiving end, or is it going to be Le'Veon Bell on the rushing side?
I'm going Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, AB. Yeah, that's what
AB all day on the receiving end. All day.
AB, all day. Antonio Brown's got a lot
I do see that as well.
And plus, that man got a lot to prove, too. So I wouldn't sleep on Antonio Brown. With all that time he had off of football, he's going to get burned. He's going to get some burn in Super Bowl.
Definitely. I agree with that. AB, everything he's been through, getting traded by the Pittsburgh Steelers to the then Oakland Raiders, getting wanting out of Oakland and then going to New England and playing one game, and then the Patriots getting rid of him to that domestic violence dispute case and being out of the NFL for a whole year, and then Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, and then Tom Brady saying you can join me in Tampa Bay, and him becoming a Buccaneer. I think he's got a lot to prove. And Frankie, going back to our last show that we did, the unscripted, man, I actually picked him to be my Super Bowl 55 MVP. It's kind of a dark horse, but I think he could do it. This guy's been waiting his whole career to get to the Super Bowl. He's finally here. I still think he's a productive wide receiver in the NFL. Is he the top wide receiver in the NFL now? And today, probably not. That probably be Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, one of those guys. But Antonio Brown is still a very good wide receiver, and I think he can still play. And I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong, including the Pittsburgh Steelers, who let him go in the Super Bowl. And I believe he's going to win the MVP for Super Bowl 55.
I could see that happening. I could see Tom Brady throwing a lot of passes to Antonio Brown. Yeah, but like I said, like you said, going back to unscripted on our Thursday episode with them, you did pick Antonio Brown. I remember that, but I picked Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is going to have an amazing night just because he had an amazing season with Tom Brady. For those who don't know, Mike Evans, for I think his 7th straight season, he received for over 1,000 yards. He actually just beat it. He had on the year 70 receptions for 1,006 yards and 13 touchdowns. So he just beat it by 6 yards on the final game of the year, probably, or even whatever he had. But I think Mike Evans is going to end up with the MVP, and he's just going to have an outstanding game for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Antonio, who do you pick as your MVP for this Super Bowl Sunday coming up in 2 weeks or next week?
MVP? If it's not Brady, it will be one of his receivers. So probably Brown or Mike Evans.
Yeah.
If it's not Brady, it's going to be one of his receivers.
What if we're all wrong and it ends up being Scotty Miller?
That'd be something. The guy
Hey, I wouldn't put that on Tom Brady. You know my man be secretive with it, like, yo, I'm gonna go to you all day. So I wouldn't put it past you. You know how Tom is. Hold up, we got
Scotty Miller over here thinking.
Yeah.
Scotty Miller over here thinking
he could get burned on the wide receiver. So I mean,
he thinks
everybody knows
faster than
Tyree. We don't know you ain't faster than Hill, so you need to stop. But that's how to each his own. To each his own, man.
Let's not forget earlier in the year when the Chiefs played the Bucs in Tampa Bay, Tyreek Hill, he had about 230 yards in the second before halftime.
Numbers in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He had some crazy numbers before halftime, and for fantasy owners, I was really upset.
Bro, listen, in my league, all right, in my league, my boy got 72 points in fantasy with him in my league.
I know I was upset. I had to face him that week. A guy I faced him, I beat him earlier in the year, and then he just totally went off on me at like 68 points, pretty much knocked me out.
The only thing that helped me is I had Patrick Mahomes. He had freaking 55 points that game.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill killed me that week, pretty much knocked me out of the playoffs.
He knocked everybody off that week. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Can't believe that. But
I actually need to pull up that stat because I need to see how many yards he had. It was insane.
Bro,
he even did a backflip.
9 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He even did a backflip.
It was in the first quarter. Yeah. I think if the Chiefs
in the first quarter, he had 209 yards receiving. He only caught the 60 in the second half.
If the Chiefs win and Tyreek Hill wins MVP, I think he's definitely going to rub it in Scotty Miller's face there. I think those guys should definitely race before the Super Bowl and just bet money on it.
Yo, you know what? Fuck the coin flip. Fuck the coin flip. Just let them run. Who get ball first? Freak that.
Yeah, maybe they should do that. That's a good idea.
Right? So, the hell with the coin flip. Just run a 40. Whoever win, get ball first. That's it.
Nice. That'd be something. But yeah, going back to what you said, I think definitely Mike Evans could definitely get the MVP. Other than Brady winning it, because usually, whatever team wins, they usually give the MVP to the quarterback. But yeah, Mike Evans has had a hell of a year. He's been Tom Brady's go-to guy. He's a big, physical wide receiver, can go long. I just love the way he plays. I love his aggressiveness. So I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Mike Evans got the MVP of that game. Not at all.
We got a comment here. Hold on. My boy Robert Duran Jr. For those of you who don't know, Robert Duran Jr. is the son of former pro boxer Roberto Duran, former heavyweight champion. Robert Duran Jr. I grew up with. I had known him since I was a young kid. Matter of fact, and he started from the bottom and now he's all the way up top. Man, he's down in Florida doing his thing. And, I want to give him a big shout out because, he's in the boxing world now. He's following in his father's footsteps, but he's also creating his own. And, down the road, we're going to say again, our world heavyweight champion, Robert Duran Jr. So Robert Duran Jr., thank you, Robert, for stopping by and commenting. For those of you who don't know him, you go ahead and you call him Robert Duran Jr. For me, I call him Cholo. That's my man right there.
That's what I call my brother. That's crazy. I call him Cholito.
That's my man. That's my man right there. But back to this. The Buccaneers played the Chiefs earlier in Week 12, and I got the thing right up in front of me. Tyreek Hill actually had 13 receptions for 269 yards. And he had 3 touchdowns.
It's crazy, man. Unbelievable. He did that in the first quarter.
209 yards came in the first quarter.
Unbelievable.
You know how much passing touchdowns that Patrick Mahomes had that game?
I think he had what? 5 that game?
3.
All to Tyreek.
So all to Tyreek. I thought it was 4. I thought he had 1.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That Bucs defense is going to be focusing on Tyreek this game.
What was it?
Unexpected type of game.
Frankie, if you don't mind, look up Tyreek's touchdowns. What he had, like 15 this year, 17. He almost had 20. It's crazy.
I don't know, but what's really crazy is the Chiefs won 27-24, but I'm flipping it around for the Super Bowl, and I'm thinking the Buccaneers are going to win it 27-24.
24. Okay.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Tyreek Hill had 87 receptions. That's tied 17th in the year. He had a total of 1,276 yards. That was 8th on the year. He had 15 total touchdowns. That's 2nd on the year.
15.
He averaged 14.7 yards a carry. That's 19th on the year. I'm sorry, hold on. How can you average 14.7 yards?
Because that man's got breakaway speed that's have never been seen. Yep. That's like Usain Bolt playing football. I don't care what anybody, but that's what I told my man the other night. That is Usain Bolt playing football. That's Tyreek Hill.
Another guy in the NFL, I think, is a very fast guy who could definitely keep up with Tyreek. I don't know if he beat him in races, but my guy in the Miami Dolphins, one of the punt returner and wide receiver, Jakeem Grant. The Chiefs and the Dolphins played earlier this year down in Miami. I would have loved to see those two guys race each other. I honestly think Jakeem Grant is faster than Scotty Miller. Like, I don't know. I don't know why Scotty Miller is talking trash and saying he could beat Tyreek. I don't even think he could beat Jakeem Grant. I think Jakeem Grant.
I forgot who's that guy name on Kansas City? Hardman. He's like a 1 second less faster than Tyreek Hill. Him and Tyreek Hill won 1 second difference.
Yeah, both those guys are super fast. Speed.
So their number 5 receiver has Tyreek Hill speed.
Yeah. That's one thing in the NFL or football period is you can't teach speed. A lot of fast guys. Tyreek Hill, Nicole Hardman, my man Jakeem Grant with the Dolphins. You cannot teach speed. Deshaun Jackson back in his day with your Eagles back in the day.
With the Eagles, he was considered a fast when he came in the league. Yep.
Super fast. Yep.
I'm sure the Giants know about that.
Yeah, they know all too well. And my mom's a Giants fan. My mom's in front of you right now. The Giants, they know about Deshaun Jackson. They'll probably never forget about him. Burned them too many times in the day.
Go ahead and tell me your guys' favorite Super Bowl moment with your guys' team. Well, my favorite Super Bowl moment is going to be Super Bowl 51. We went on against the Atlanta Falcons. We were down 28-3. Everybody thought that the Super Bowl was over, but we ended up coming back and winning the first Super Bowl in overtime, and with the final score 32-28. It was an amazing Super Bowl, but the most important and amazing part in that Super Bowl for me was the amazing Julian Edelman catch. Julian Edelman had an amazing catch. He was covered by 2 people, and it actually looked like it hit the floor, but it didn't. When we saw the replay, he actually
bounced right off and grabbed it. What a catch!
He had it on his hands, let it go, and quickly caught it again right before it hit the floor. It was by an inch too. It was like that close by the floor. So that was my favorite moment. Go ahead with we're gonna start off with the Eagles, and then we're gonna go to Rob with the Cowboys. Go ahead and tell me what your favorite Super Bowl moment for your team was.
My favorite moment was, I believe it was 4th and it was 4th down. You guys went for it. We put Brandon Graham went on Brady's left side with Cox on the other side to take him down and solidify that we won the Super Bowl. Once I seen that man lay that hit, I knew it was over for you guys. The ring was ours. That was my moment.
The forced fumble sack?
Yep.
Thank you for that. We're gonna go on to Rob with the Cowboys. What was your favorite Super Bowl moment back in the 90s watching it?
It wasn't really a favorite moment. More like an embarrassing moment is when Leon Lett was running back that ball and Don Beebe knocked it out, and Leon Lett was just so excited to score. He's like, man, I'm going to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It's going to be the highlight of my career. We're going to have the most points ever by a team in the Super Bowl. And here comes Don Beebe out of nowhere, just knocking out the ball, and it goes through the end zone. And, instead of being 59-10, it ends up 52-10. So that was just an embarrassing moment. But another moment I remember from that Super Bowl, even though it was like so long ago, was when Michael Irvin had 1 touchdown, and he did the little dance and he was like moving his arms like this and putting the ball down. He had 1 touchdown. Like Troy Aikman, I don't know how many touchdowns he threw in that game because it's been so long. But I remember Michael Irvin caught 1 touchdown. He did the little dance. You know how the playmaker does, man. And I had the privilege when I was down living in Miami to meet Michael Irvin a couple of times. Class guy. Went to the U. Definitely a lot of respect for Michael Irvin. But I wish I was alive when the Dolphins had won the Super Bowl back in 72 and 73, and I can give you guys really a favorite moment, but hopefully it's coming soon. But I wish I was around back then. I don't have one. I'd have to go back and watch that game and go back and watch some of the Cowboys game. But those are just a couple that come to mind when I think of the Dallas Buffalo Super Bowl back in '92. The Leon Lett one and the one when Michael Irvin scored that touchdown, one of the touchdowns.
Yeah. We all have great Super Bowl moments for our teams, and it's amazing. And we're gonna have a great Super Bowl coming up. I can't wait for Super Bowl 55. It's gonna be one of the greatest Super Bowls that we've seen in a couple of years. Just because for the Eagles, you guys had a great Super Bowl in Super Bowl 52. I had a great Super Bowl 51. But to the world, of football, this is the Super Bowl that I think everybody is excited for around the world to wait and watch. I know you guys are, and I can't wait until the Super Bowl comes so that way I can hit you guys up again and get your guys' reaction on how you guys thought the Super Bowl was and things like that. Um, so we're towards the end of our show, and I want to thank you guys for coming on and giving me your guys' expressions and your feelings on when you guys witnessed your first team Super Bowl win, or even when you guys witnessed a Super Bowl in your own category or whatever like that. Um, but like I said, I want to thank you guys for coming on and choosing who you guys thought was going to win the Super Bowl, giving me your projections on who you think was going to win MVP or even the final score. Thank you guys so much for coming by.
Thanks a lot again, Frankie, for having me on. I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. We deserve it after the year we've had with dealing with COVID. You couldn't ask for a better Super Bowl. You got Brady, Mahomes again, two great teams. Tampa Bay, Kansas City is going to be a great Super Bowl. It sucks we don't have a game tomorrow. Like you said, there's no Pro Bowl. I think they're doing some kind of like Pro Bowl celebration or something at like 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just honoring guys and giving them jerseys.
You can check it out on ESPN, but it sucks no football tomorrow. We got to wait till next Sunday, but I'm definitely pumped. I can't wait. It's going to be all-time classic Super Bowl 55, and hope you guys are safe during your Super Bowl parties or whatever you're doing. Just be safe and enjoy the game.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Frankie, for having me. Honored, man. We'll love to do it again. Great show. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you, guys. Next Saturday, I won't be doing a live. Tune in to Northeast Streaming Sports on Sunday morning. We are having a big Super Bowl show. Starts at 8 a.m. I know some of you guys are probably sleeping because you guys are getting ready for the Super Bowl, but I will be on Northeast Streaming Sports Sunday morning at 8 a.m. February 7th, 2021. So, you guys tune in if you guys want. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have everybody. If you guys don't already know, Northeast Streaming Sports, we're actually controlling the entire East Coast right now, down from Florida and all the way up, man. We got your Boston sports. We got your Cleveland sports. We even got your Philly sports, your New York and your Florida, all that. Every East Coast, every Northeast sports podcast you can think of, man. We're all there. Tune in to Northeast Streaming Sports on Super Bowl Sunday, and we're all going to be there, man. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One more thing real quick before I let all you guys go. Definitely make sure to check out my podcast. Definitely make sure to check out my podcast, The Diamonds in the Rough. I just did episode 5 yesterday. I had an Ohio rapper from the Midwest, Storm. We had a good interview for about 30 minutes. I did a little bit of sports talk there as well. I'm probably going to be doing another show this upcoming Wednesday where I have from the Creating Young Minds Undiscovered League and from the basketball leagues, Louisville Leopards, one of the star players in the league, Jared Jetpack, Jay Henderson will be on the show Wednesday. And I'll probably do my own little Super Bowl preview before the game, maybe with one of my other friends before next Sunday. So definitely look out for that. And Frankie, I wish you all the best, with what you're doing. We definitely got to link up again and do something. And definitely a shout out to all the guys for Unscripted. Definitely get back on that show again and definitely talk some sports. I know NFL season is about to end, but it seems like the NFL is a year-round sport with trade talk and free agency. So we'll be talking NFL year-round, and then we'll probably jump into NBA after that, and then soon it'll be baseball season. So definitely looking forward to that. I wish you guys all the best, and definitely support my show, Diamonds in the Rough podcast. We got more guests coming on, more shows coming. Definitely look out for that.
Yes. Please tune in to Diamond in the Rough. I did tune in yesterday. That was an amazing show you did have yesterday. I did watch it. But everybody who's watching, please tune into his show. He has amazing guests on his show, amazing interviews. It's an amazing show. Like I said, I met Robert the beginning of this week. Matter of fact, going into this Thursday on Unscripted. I apologize. And and that's the great thing about this is you can build a great friendship with people that you don't even know, but are sports fans just as myself. So this is a great thing. And yeah, man, I can't wait to watch your shows in the future. For Wednesday, I can't wait. And definitely for your Super Bowl preview, I will be tuning in and watching it as well. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, man. Hope you have a good rest of your
Anytime.
weekend. Be safe, man. Antonio, you're the same,
You
man.
too.
Hey, thank you, man, guys. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking sports with y'all. Hope to do it soon, man. It was fun.
Of course,
Be safe.
Antonio. Thank you for stopping by, brother.
Thank you, man. All right, enjoy, man.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great episode. I was supposed to have a couple more guests come on, but I guess they couldn't make it. But don't forget to tune into Northeast Streaming Sports, where you can get all your latest sports on the Northeast. Down, like I said, down from Florida and all the way up. I'm your man that covers your Boston-related sports, your Boston Celtics, your Boston Bruins, your Boston Red Sox, and your New England Patriots as well. You can catch my shows on Wednesday nights, where I have Boston Talk. Episode 3 coming up. And then on Saturdays, you can catch me with Football News with Frankie Cruz. I won't be doing an episode next week. Like I said, I will be doing a Sunday episode with Northeast Streaming Sports. You can also catch us at our website at www.nessp.info. You can get all your latest links and bios there from everybody that's on Northeast Streaming Sports. Let's not forget, Super Bowl Sunday, Kansas City Chiefs are facing the Buccaneers, who are favored by 3 points. We all picked, everybody that was on my show today, Antonio and Robert, big shot. We all picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win it, and we all picked different people to win the MVP. Like I said earlier, don't forget to tune in. The big Super Bowl show, guys, Northeast Streaming Sports, the biggest Super Bowl show that you can ever think of. If you haven't seen the people that I'm talking about, this is the time to catch us and watch us. It's the big Super Bowl show. Everybody from Northeast Streaming Sports is going to be in there. You got the guy, the Philly sports guy. He's the biggest guy in our group, all right? The Philly sports guy is going to be live, everybody, live in Tampa, Florida. He's going to be down there in the Super Bowl. So if you guys want to tune in and witness what's going to happen in the Super Bowl, in the parking lot, everything like that, tune in to Northeast Streaming Sports. You're going to catch the Philly sports guy there. This next Sunday, February 7th, 2021, 8 a.m. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I had an amazing guest today. I was supposed to have more come in today, but they couldn't make it. Hopefully in the future they can come back in. Like Robert said earlier, football for us is a sport year-round, no matter what, off-season and on-season. But let's get ready for Super Bowl coming up. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady versus Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, where I like to call the Buccaneers are now called the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing Super Bowl, and I love you. Thank you.
You're listening to Frankie C Sports on Northeast Streaming Sports.